And brothers and sisters, we are finally back. We finally made it to another reaction on this Mystelics Reacts channel. Of course, these are my thoughts on things we're going to be talking about in this here reaction vibrations. What are yours as well? Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment box below, brothers and sisters. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button as well. Click it, man. Click the thumbs up button. Click the like button, brothers and sisters, to help push these videos further and further. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. You can also click this thing right there, brothers and sisters. Click it, man. So, of course, we subscribed. And of course, it inadvertently become a part of the Mystelics family right there. And of course, getting notified when I drop my videos right there. And then, anyways, brothers and sisters, I'm rushing so we can get to these vibrations. So let us get it right there. Of course, we had the symposium. The Cannabis symposium is taking place, brothers and sisters. So we had a number of indie videos coming on. Even I think one of the ministers of SKERRIT came or is actually here for this situation that has been taking place in Dominica, which is very interesting because I think it's a bit of a hypocrisy that is taking place in Dominica when it comes on to this situation. However, they have the Cannabis symposium, and of course, they had a number of individuals speaking. They had this individual speaking yesterday. I don't know who this individual is, but they had him there, and of course, they had the Minister of Health. That is the Minister of Health now, or whatever it is, but Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries. Okay, this individual right there, brothers and sisters. And of course, you know, on the basis of cannabis, they had, you know, the Rastas there as well, doing their thing, representing.
And this is what's going on. And the hunger fed, the naked people, the sick be nourished, the ignorant get, and the infant get forth. Deliver them from the hands of the enemies.
I guess it's praying of something of that sort. But it's very interesting when I listen to Rastafari speaking, brothers and sisters, especially when you understand what history is. A number of persons are referring the marijuana itself, the cannabis itself, back to Rastafari, but apparently that wasn't when it started. It wasn't even started then, brothers and sisters. It was started in the mountains of Western China. About 2,500 to 2,700 years ago, that's when the individuals were using the cannabis right there, and of course they were using it around rituals, funeral rituals, I'll have to say. Right there. So that's what he pretty much started. I don't understand how we are associating the Mary Jane or the use of Mary Jane to Rastafari's. Of course, we know when Selassie came around, there's actually no evidence that Selassie himself was smoking. There's a picture of Selassie watering a marijuana plant, but I remember on the merit of certain things that I've researched that he actually went to Jamaica and was trying to find out about the Rastafari movement. And of course, the understanding of the Rastafari movement, part of the practices was, of course, smoking the Mary Jane. So when you try to figure out how does the Rastafaris get with this sentiment, when Selassie himself, there's no evidence of him smoking. In fact, there's also the sentiment of people, the Rastafaris always saying that they don't eat meat or something of that sort. When Selassie's coronation was only meat. It was on all kinds of meat. His coronation, brothers and sisters, had only meat. That's what they were eating. So how I don't understand how they can have this sentiment of, oh, we don't eat meat and we idle, and how they get that? That's amazing. I think I need to do some research on that right there, because I always try to make the link between Rastafari and Selassie, and certain things that Selassie is teaching is completely contrary to what the Rastafaris believe. Yet still the Rastafaris say that they trust in Selassie, you know. Actually, I had the conversation with one of the Rastas, you know, prominent Rastas in Dominica on that sentiment, and you know, we were getting a little heated on that. But I mean, you look back at history and it's, how did you end up there? Selassie himself, well, when he went to Jamaica, he was learning from the Rastafaris who were apparently following him. So how did we end up in that sentiment? I guess because it's part of their religion, they took on that thing. But even the smoking of this thing did not come from Rastafari. It came from the mountains of Western China and Siberia as well. So it's very interesting how they, you know, but I guess because they have it as part of their religious practices. But I'm saying if you have it as part of religious practices, which is fine, but then you follow in a particular person who there's no evidence of him, you know. And even that, keep in mind, as that thought came to my brothers and sisters, even in Ethiopia during that time when Selassie was reigning, I mean, they were doing that, but they weren't doing it to the magnitude until after the Rastafari movement started elevating more and more. So even in Ethiopia, that wasn't happening like that. It was there. I'm not saying it wasn't there, because that, I mean, come on, 2,500 years ago, I mean, there must be some trickling down during that time, but you know, it seems like they got that practice from China. That's something I dare any Rasta to challenge me. I dare any one of all you. With all the history you have, let's see how well you know your history. History is an important thing, you know. Sometimes them Rastas don't even know what they believe. They just know it's that my parents do because my parents were Rastas. That's what they did, so I'm doing it as well and continuing it. Anyways, that's a whole other topic right there, brothers and sisters. But hey, that's part of the religious practices. Okay, great. I just don't understand how, you know. But anyways, I sidetracked it right there. That's not the whole point, brothers and sisters. But of course, the Rastafaris would know a little bit more. But the weed and having them there would definitely help in that understanding right there, of course. Anyways, brothers and sisters, you know what was even shocking? Another part of what was actually missing is SKERRIT. SKERRIT seems to be missing, MIA. For some reason, he's MIA, right? Different people coming on from different Caribbean islands and coming to Dominica on that merit to see what's up in that regard, you know? Or they can push forward with that sentiment right there. And I must make mention, brothers and sisters, the reason why this is being pushed is because CBI is falling. And you'll understand why I'm saying this, brothers and sisters, because there seems to be a little level of hypocrisy taking place right there. This is Melissa. Melissa doesn't know nothing about marriage. What she know about marriage? She don't know nothing. And apparently SKERRIT wasn't there, so I'm guessing she's probably reading the notes that SKERRIT had. Hey, just go there and read it. I'm guessing that's what oh, you can have Melissa know anything about. This is why you have a level of incompetence. I understand why the Rastas there, no doubt about it. I understand why they're there. Yes. But why is Melissa there? Why? Somebody help me out in understanding, because what does she know about these things? What? Melissa is the Minister of Housing. Minister of Housing, not Delhi. She's not even supposed to be the Minister of Housing. She's just a placeholder, it seems, for whoever the individuals on the top of her decide to pass, and then she's the person that would appear to be the one who's doing it, but she's not doing nothing. They probably tell her just represent, quote unquote, represent, and just come and show up. So she show up for this one to read a paper. And it was interesting what she's saying right there, brothers and sisters. Let's take a little listen to a snippet of what she's saying.
As we advocate for the sustainable development of our land, we recognize that there are fundamental weaknesses that lie beneath the common threads that bind us.
She said something there, but let's go back a little.
As we advocate for the sustainable development of our land,
how, brothers and sisters, agriculture is at an all-time low. We had a picture of the agricultural minister. What is happening with agriculture, brothers and sisters? What is happening? Huh? What is happening in agriculture? So when Melissa come in and say,
as we advocate for the sustainable development of our land,
maybe it's now they're starting to do it, because CBI now is dropping, and the only thing Dominica has when it comes down to what else is agriculture. So maybe now they're starting to do it. Anyways, let's continue.
We recognize that there are fundamental weaknesses that lie beneath the common threads that bind us. Our ability to make progress, therefore, requires that we release those colonial shackles.
But who in charge of the colonial shackles? Not you guys? Not you guys that can say, hey guys, we have been freed, we have independence. So we're no longer on the colonial rules of Britain or the French. You know, many guys are confusing place. French had us, British had us, you know, all kind of things, you know, what's going on. Independence for how much years, brothers and sisters? Melissa now coming yesterday and talk about it is now time for us to free ourselves from this colonial, when you could have done it a long time ago. You guys have been here for 25 years. 25 years. Now you're talking about this.
Is that we release those colonial shackles.
As if they had a shackle on them. 25 years, no shackles. Could I do something? No. The only reason why you guys are doing this now, because the CBI is about to drop and you have to find other ways. Go back to where? Go back. Just like John Dilla was saying, go back to the basics.
And self-imposed ties that hinder us, and that we pay close attention to our traditions.
What tradition is that? Huh? This is Cannabis in a symposium. What tradition are you talking about? Not all you jailing how much people jailing people for having a little thing in Granby, you know, and Granby supporting all you. Like, I just never understood that. They're jailing Granby people from making their plans. Gasa. Hey, boy, I tell you, boy. Are they taking it? I wonder if they're taking it to burn it for them to be able to get high. Or they're taking it and they're selling it. They have secret, all kind of secret things that's happening in Dominica. That's not too far to say that, you know. Or they catching these things, they have these things and they're doing their own private stuff, selling stuff wherever, under whoever name or whatever. Things like this can happen. I know it's not like movie, but Dominica is a whole movie. Yes, Dominica is a whole movie.
With a view of embracing new opportunities for growth and economic development.
You hear that? Let me break that back for you guys.
With a view of embracing new opportunities for growth and economic development.
Let me bring that back for you guys. I'm making sure you hear properly here.
Our traditions. With a view of embracing new opportunities for growth and economic development.
One more time.
To our traditions. With a view of embracing new opportunities for growth and economic development.
So there's a possibility of economic development, not true, brothers and sisters? Yes. I mean, I know that because back in the day, we knew that was in its independent, what is the term? What is the statement I was used? In its beginning stages, brothers and sisters, the industry that they are talking about right now was a multi-billion-dollar industry. Now let me repeat that one more time for you.
View of embracing new opportunities for growth and economic development.
Now, can you imagine if we had that a long time ago, brothers and sisters? Can you imagine if that was the case? We have these new opportunities for growth when it comes down to the sector right there. We did. We did, brothers and sisters. In fact, remember when Lennox went to where he went? Colorado. Yes, he went to Colorado to meet a Dominican who was involved in that industry. You remember when that happened around 2018? You don't remember? No? Okay. Remember when SKERRIT himself met up with the same individual in Dominica to talk about this industry, and a plan was set out for them to do something good. I also indicated that I saw these plans as well to the merit where even if all Dominican brothers and sisters, if this went into fruition, Dominica would be have a 0% unemployment rate. A 0. Matter of fact, Dominica would not have enough people in it to facilitate in that industry. So we'd have to go and bring in people from overseas to facilitate. And that is just one aspect. Right now, Dominica would probably have about 150,000 people minimum when it comes down to that aspect right there. Today, we wonder if we have 60,000 people. Remember the last time they were trying to do census and they had to cancel it for the embarrassment? You guys don't remember these things? No? All right. Well, they met up with this individual right there, brothers and sisters, had several meetings and so forth, and absolutely nothing came from it. In fact, let me go back to, hopefully I have it.
With a view of embracing new opportunities for growth and economic development.
Now remember in that same 2018, brothers and sisters, when the Prime Minister was addressing the nation, Independence Day address from SKERRIT. Okay, let's listen, eh?
We as a country must...
No, I agree with most of what SKERRIT was saying there when it comes down to the opening of these kind of things, and you know, it might fall into the hands of the wrong set of people. Yes, those kind of things and blah 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 on the merit of the little ones participating in these things. That's true. But the little ones still participating in it. No. So, anyways, this is the part that shocked me, brothers and sisters. I've been mentioning some time back, actually, to go and find it myself so I can show it for you guys. I don't normally tend to do this because it's just a reaction, but I had to go and show you guys what I'm talking about right there. Most people just think I don't know what I'm talking about, you know, just because I don't show it. Just because I don't show it, brothers and sisters, I could just say it. He said it, but let's look.
Very, very careful about exposing our young minds.
He's right.
Unduly to the substance.
True.
So whatever we do in respect to this, we need to ensure that we properly and adequately protect our children and the young people of this country.
True.
And I will say to you,
this is the part right there.
That marijuana or the use of marijuana is not going to be a economic transformation of Dominica.
He's
The use of marijuana is not going to be an economic transformation of Dominica.
It's not going to be an economic transformation of Dominica. This was November 3rd, 2018. And yesterday, brothers and sisters, this is Melissa speaking.
With a view of embracing new opportunities for growth and economic development.
I told you guys that I saw the whole plan. And although I agree with SKERRIT on getting the thing going after young, you can make legislation, people under the age of these things be arrested, or their parents will have to pay a fine or something of that sort, you know, to make sure that the young people stay away from these things as much as possible. But then utilizing these things for medicinal reasons and a number of other reasons pertaining to that medical sphere, or not just for medicine, because it's as tea and you know those kind of things there. It also helps in a number of things as well, brothers and sisters. I personally don't believe in the smoking of it because it's carbon monoxide. I believe in utilizing water vapor because it's much more better in terms of health, and people can have their own understanding in that regard. That's great. That's my personal point of view. What are yours, brothers and sisters? But the mere fact that now they're realizing that it can actually be used for economic development, new opportunities for economic development. Brothers and sisters, that is 7 years ago. 7 years we wasted. When the regional come in and say we have been far too long, we last for far too long, they are the ones creating this atmosphere in Dominica. But the only reason why they are here today, brothers and sisters, talking about cannabis, is because they have lost, or they know they're losing their ability with the CBI program, brothers. They know it's only a matter of time before the whole thing comes crashing down. That's probably why SKERRIT doesn't show up to nothing. Maybe he's sick in Barbados getting treatment. I don't know, brothers and sisters. What do I know? I don't know, brothers and sisters. I don't know where he be. So this is very interesting when you look at what is actually happening. They send Melissa, who don't know nothing. She just reading a paper because that's the paper that whoever write, give her to read. All she has to do is read it and represent. Talking about represent, brothers and sisters, we have another situation that has taken place in Dominica, brothers and sisters. And that is none other than, where is it? Yes, this right here, brothers and sisters. Where Vince Henderson put out an address probably 2 days ago, something of that sort, indicating that he's saying to his wonderful people. It's interesting that Vince is stating where he going to represent SKERRIT, but SKERRIT don't saying where he going to represent the Dominican people. You don't say none of that stuff. We don't know if he going to Coco Macaque somewhere, boop. I don't know. We don't know. Whether he can check his health or something, who knows? How on earth you have a prime minister and nobody know where the prime minister is? All you know where he is? Yes, no, maybe. Today's the second day of the symposium. He show his face? No. He had to Vince had to go to Jamaica for the 49th CARICOM Heads of Government Conference. Heads of Government Conference. Vince not a head of government, but he there. Where is SKERRIT, sisters? Where is SKERRIT? All right. He's shaking hands with the Jamaican Prime Minister. These are the photos that they took. You can see Mia Motley there. You can see Gaston Brown there. You see Deacon Mitchell there. You see a number of folks there. But you don't see SKERRIT. You see Vince. What Vince doing there? What Vince doing there? He's a government official too. Okay, well, if he is, my bad, brothers and sisters, my bad. Where is SKERRIT? An interesting matter, actually referenced this on my WhatsApp, I believe it is. He's going there to attend the 49th CARICOM Heads of Government Conference. For what reason you going there? What reason? In fact, I was told that when they look for Vince, now I'm not 100% on that, but apparently they were saying that when they were looking for Vince to address certain things, Vince was nowhere to be found. You know, to take picture though. He dared to take picture. But when they are looking for Vince to address certain things, Vince nowhere to be found. Nowhere. In fact, there was somebody else. Let me leave that. I wasn't there, brothers and sisters. I don't know. That's what I hear. All right then. Anyways, brothers and sisters. So there was a video I wanted to show you guys on Rosie Douglas speaking right there. So SKERRIT nowhere to be found. We don't know what SKERRIT is. Vince sending memo. Hey, I in heads of comment representing SKERRIT. Symposium coming for the development of the cannabis industry. Melissa there. She reading paper and talking about economic development, and in 2018 SKERRIT talk about this is not the economy. Let me play for you.
Marijuana or the use of marijuana is not going to be a economic transformation of Dominica.
Well, you good here? All good. Anyways, let's head to Roosevelt Douglas. Right there. Let's see what Roosevelt had to say.
So what we are saying is the opportunities are there now for clean government, for responsible government, for transparent government.
Are we seeing that in Dominica? Are we seeing any of this? I mean, just the little video that I did previously, it shows any of that? Accountability, transparency, it shows any of that? Clean government?
And in that kind of situation, therefore, we as poor as we may be, we have no fear.
So there are no more Dominican passports for sale for $500.
No, that's how we look at it. It used to be $50,000 to the treasury, and the rest of the money went to the agent. So if somebody wanted a new name then, to buy a passport, they do the treasury $50,000, the agent would say they want $400,000 and they keep the rest. That's how it works.
So that's how it used to be back in the day, brothers and sisters. 50,000 and the rest goes to the agent. So a lot of agents were making a lot of money in that regard right there, brothers and sisters. But it's also very interesting what he stated. Let me bring it back a little.
Dominican passports for sale for $500.
No, that's how we look at it. It used to be, and in that kind of situation, therefore, we as poor as we may be, we have no fear.
So there are
As poor as we are, we have no fear. As poor as we are, brothers and sisters. Interesting when you look at Dominica and the resources. Hélas, I thought say that way. The resources that Dominica has, the magnitude that of which is not being utilized. And even on the CBI situation is one thing. It's not sustainable. We have been saying this for donkey years, brothers and sisters. Donkey die and new baby come, new donkey, brothers and sisters. And this donkey die again, brothers and sisters. That's tell you how long. Donkeys years, brothers and sisters. You get my point right there. The sustainability factor has always resulted back to agriculture. Now CBI is dying. They are going to back to what? The very thing that they stated is would not be a growth factor or economic factor for Dominica. That's what they're going back to now. Not interesting, brothers and sisters. I want to say certain things, but I don't want to say it because it might give them ideas. They just watch my videos, It might give them ideas on how they. Let me leave that. Let's continue.
There are no more Dominican passports for sale for $500.
No, that's how we look at it. It used to be $50,000 to the treasury, and the rest of the
But
money
it's a passport for $500, not yourself.
went to the agent. So if somebody wanted a new name then, to buy a passport, they do the treasury $50,000, the agent would say they want $400,000 and they keep the rest.
By the way, that is what one of the things that they put out. SKERRIT actually mentioned that. He didn't mention the residency part. A number of the Caribbean islands are making sure that they meet these standards. And to pretend, oh, nothing is happening, man. Nothing, no official word. So Marco Rubio come down Dominica, I'm Jamaica and these places. They had meetings with all you for no reason. He just come down to show his face, like Vince showing his face in 49 CARICOM heads of government, just to show his face. But apparently, allegedly, nowhere to be found. Guys, let me continue.
That's how it was.
Because the accusations were that your country was allowing in Soviet mafia drug dealers.
Well, when they were selling passports like hot bread or hot cake, they were selling passports, and that led to criminals taking advantage of it. That's why we have told the Americans, give us some training. Because the minister, when he was accused, the former minister of
so that was in Roosevelt Douglas time frame when he was alive. That was, I'm giving a sentiment of 2002, 2001. When did he die? 2002, 2001, 2001, around that region right there. 25 or 23 years, brothers and sisters, give or take. You mean to tell me we still have the same problems? To know the Americans are trying to put sanctions on Dominica? Huh? And SKERRIT come in and tell people they have the most robust due diligence process. And even criminals obtain I'm not talking about passport, normal passport, you know. Diplomatic passports. They became Dominica's ambassadors. Criminals were Dominican ambassadors. One was even hiding in the mountain in Dominica. And you have to escape and they catch you in Dominican Republic. What I know now?
Finance, Mr. Timothy, when he was accused of letting in Christopher's case, he said he's only a white-collar criminal, so what? That's what he said to the world. So I mean, the man disgraced our country. And when this government moved to arrest some people who had all kinds of privileges, illegal privileges in the customs, after we got elected and they were arrested, he went and paid the bill. You know, so that he felt that really the Dominica was in a state that his father or somebody in family left for him in the will. And all this kind of nonsense has been now stopped. And we are a transparent country.
Don't stop now. Maybe under you it stop. Maybe that's why you ended up dying, maybe. Because the same thing you think stop is it's running rampant today. Dominica lost United Kingdom. By the way, some people keep trying to Canada lost visa-free access in 2002. In 2002. United Kingdom last year, I think it was 2023. One of them, brothers and sisters. I think it's last year, 2024. No. Just recently, brothers and sisters. I can't remember my time frame. We lost visa-free access. Ireland, number of places, the Dominicans, because of that sentiment. United Kingdom knew, and I was following that whole thing in United Kingdom. I was following it from the beginning when they had problems with that country. That country in the Middle East, I forget its name, having problems, and Dominica was doing the same thing this country was doing. Same thing, and they warned it all. Do not use United Kingdom as a selling point for your visa. United States also is on it today saying, hey, residency should be included. Those are certain people never step foot in Dominica and they're taking the privilege of people born in the country and going all over. Just recently they found some Iranians with Dominica passports. Boy.
We're a proud country. And we're looking for the cooperation of the outside world to help us build the country, because the country, in terms of ecotourism, in terms of its natural environment, it's good. The Sainsbury's, the big supermarket chain in Britain, came down into Dominica a month ago. They have identified Dominica as an area where organic farming can be a major component because of the natural nature of the country.
Bro, that is what I don't understand. When mankind from your party, you were not alive, you were not alive to see it. When the mankind, your nephew or your son, whichever, possible former pal rep, talking about, if not that, what else? In an agriculture, what kind of craziness is this? Your very bloodline said, if not that, what else? And you know farming is the way forward in Dominica. Brothers and sisters, a number of persons actually interviewed on an individual basis of coffee on the podcast, brothers and sisters. Coffee, we're talking about coffee. I asked them about government involvement. Very little to none. Them man win how much thing award for the research in Dominica coffee. Then the new one was, if not CBI, what else? As if people blind to not realize what is going on. The reason why they are talking about these things is because these monies are coming directly to them and not to the citizens. They then have to disburse how much they feel to the citizens. This is why there's no job creation, brothers and sisters. What is the job creation in Dominica? Huh? Somebody tell me, please. Anybody out there, tell me, what is the job creation in the nature isle of the Caribbean? Tell me.
This is one of the few islands or countries in the world where you can drive your car along the road, stop anywhere and go and drink water without worrying about pollution.
Well, it's a bit different now, It's a bit different now. Brothers and sisters, them rivers Rosie know is not the same today, no?
That is the kind of country that we have.
Well, on your tour right now, what kind of portrait or image of Dominica are you trying to portray? What would you like people to remember the country for?
I want people to remember the country.
Let's listen, brothers and sisters. This is the first time I've seen this clip ever, anyway. Let's continue.
Yeah, the country that is under economic distress, we're not going to deny that. But a country with great potential.
It's still a great potential today. Yes. In fact, none of the potential that it had under Rosie used to utilize. No, none. None, brothers and sisters. Right now we're looking at about loan. And we put in loan at the backs of the people. The country full of all sorts of resources. When I say these things, Thompson put out 10 pillars. 10 pillars. All of which are viable in Dominica. All. It's not makeshift for somebody else. All of which are pertaining and directly will be associated to Dominica's benefit, economic development. And SKERRIT laughing and saying, I have the clip somewhere, you know, brothers and sisters. I have the clip somewhere. But we're already going too long. Let's continue.
And if we set the...
When Thompson was addressing SKERRIT. Let me get that for you, man. Hold on. Okay, guys, we are back right there. And this is the actual video that I'm talking about with Dr. Thompson addressing SKERRIT. This is what you have to see right there.
I mean, SKERRIT, Prime Minister SKERRIT is trying to make it look as already said, but it's because the man don't understand. He don't understand what I'm talking about.
Literally, SKERRIT clueless. That's probably why he probably in the hospital. I don't know.
It is not. Not that I blame him. He studied psychology, and economics is difficult.
So using psychology on the people. We don't need a psychologist in government, brothers and sisters, to bamboozle the people into thinking things that doesn't exist. We need an economist to actually manage the economy. Simple.
It's tough.
It's tough.
You know, only bright people do economics.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, but you don't even need brightness, so to speak, Thompson. You just need common sense. Common sense alone. But of course, let's continue, Rosie.
Set the enabling requisites that Dominica can develop, and everybody can share in the prosperity of our country.
That's not happening. There's more poverty today than back in the day. There's more poverty now. Imagine CBI has brought in billions of dollars, more than Dominica has ever seen in its entire life. Billions. It does see most of the billions though, but it has brought in billions as a result of the sale of CBI passports. We know for a fact. When the European Union came down, they said only 25% was reported to the Dominican people of passport sales, which means 75% is out there. That's
As a democratic, small as we are, and we are much bigger than many islands in the Caribbean, except Trinidad, Jamaica, and Guyana. And among the English-speaking Caribbean, we're bigger than Barbados, we're bigger than Antigua, we're bigger than St. Vincent, bigger than St. Lucia, we're bigger than most of the other islands, St. Thomas and Croix. And and
all these countries doing better than Dominica. All. None of these other countries that he mentioned, they have the resources Dominica has. None. Yet still all of them is doing better, brothers and sisters. I keep mentioning St. Vincent and the Grenadines is not the best of the best. No. St. Vincent doesn't involve itself in CVI. Yet still it's doing far better than Dominica. St. Vincent is already $1 billion, a US $1 billion economy. Dominica not even close to that yet. I was talking about Rihanna's GDP, brothers and sisters, to somebody. Rihanna's GDP is more than Dominica's entire Rihanna's net worth is more than Dominica's 1% net worth, higher than the whole of the Dominican GDP. Gasa, merci qui.
That if we can take the role of information technology and really build the information technology center.
That is what Thompson was talking about. This is part of his 10 plan. The very thing SKERRIT laugh at. As if Thompson doesn't want it. Look, Rosie talking about it.
And continue to receive the cooperation of friendly governments and the cooperation of friendly institutions.
Can you imagine if that was implemented back in the day, how far Dominica would be economically, brothers and sisters? Can you imagine? Well, all we have to do is imagine now. Imagine how much time we have wasted. Over 20 years wasted in Dominica. I don't think people understand time is an important thing. We're wasting time with people who are not supposed to be in positions to help us, to help Dominica grow. Who just waste 20 years? Really? Dominicans, are you serious, the boy? Boy.
Like York University tomorrow, for example, and New Orleans University, and many others who can take on the example of the medical school in Dominica.
You don't have it again, no? We don't have the medical school that others can take example of. I was part of a department in Dominica, brothers and sisters, where because of our department, that's why these schools in the United States have these kind of things. Our department was the forefront. Dominica, our department was the forefront to ensure that other schools in the United States have these things. Bruh, some people just don't know why. Some people just don't. That is the crazy part about being ignorant.
It was set up 20 years ago, and last month 90% of the owner's interest in that school was sold for 200 million US dollars was sold for. And the new owners want to invest right now in a hospital where we could utilize not just the top level qualified people at the school, but we could utilize the environment, we could utilize the hot springs, the sulfur springs, and all these natural facilities.
That is what I'm talking about, brothers and sisters. We are an agricultural nation. We are the nature island of Dominica. Why don't we look into other remedies of medicine? I cannot understand that. And the thing is, brothers and sisters, a lot of us have this sentiment, but even lemongrass. Let me just finish that video. Let me finish that.
Allow that woman to live for 125 years and live next door. I celebrated the 119th birthday 2 months ago. So you can see there's something about Dominica that is good.
Well, guys, you guys heard it from Rosie, you heard it from Melissa, you heard from the hypocrisy of SKERRIT saying, hey, this is not a industry that will build the economy. No. How can you say that? How can you even imagine that thought to say such ridiculousness? Now today they're going into it because CBI dying, so they have to figure out another way and going into right. But brothers and sisters, the question is it too late? Because if we was doing this in 2018 in its infancy, yes, that's what I used to use, but not the beginning, in its infancy. If we started doing that in its infancy, brothers and sisters, Dominica today would be, I'm sure that Dominica would be much further than all the other Caribbean islands combined. Because in its infancy, that was a multi-billion-dollar industry. Today, a set of competition is there waiting for Dominica. Just like the agriculture that we fail, other Caribbean islands have developed the agricultural basin. Far passing Dominica. Now Dominica wants to go into it. You think Dominica just going to get into it? This is why I always tell people, I understand Thompson, they want to come in. Yes, great, wonderful, and you can do something. But the competition you have to pass through now. Dominica not in the competition now, you know. Dominica under Thompson, them will get into the competition. But then the competition already has its people set. Oh, boy, tell you what. People just don't understand that. Oh boy. You have to start somewhere, I guess. That's why I always tell people, go. When you have the Dominica elevating and this kind of things, you can contribute back. So you can actually help and so forth, you know. Well, guys, this is all of my thoughts I have on this vibration. What are your thoughts, man? Leave your thoughts in the comment box below. I really want to hear what you guys have to say about the things that I talk about here. Am I delusional? Am I crazy? Am I a mad one? Huh? Maybe. What are your thoughts, brothers and sisters? Leave your thoughts in the comment box below. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button. If you appreciate my concise, leave a thumbs up at least. It's free. Click the thumbs up button to help push these videos further and further there. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and turn on our post notifications so be notified when I publish and post my videos. And also, if you click the bell, when you click the subscribe button, you'll become a part of the Mystelics family right there. I always mention that because there's a reason why I keep saying this. The number of all you regret not doing it, but that's up to all you right there. Anyways, brothers and sisters, about Mystelics once again. Be real, Saturday King always. Thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. Be real, brothers and sisters. Be positive.